Hey, what's going on? My name's Coach Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and you're listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to helping you replace harmful patterns with new possibilities. In each episode, we'll explore topics that inspire you to be yourself, live your truth, and make lasting friendships. And this episode, we are going to be talking about supportive people. People in your life who help you be the best version of yourself you possibly can. Do you have them in your life? Do you know what to look for? Are you ready? Let's go. So I recently had a conversation with someone who described their life as, quote, having it all. Yet, they were completely unhappy. They had friends, they were soon to be married, and had plenty of hobbies, money, but they weren't happy. You know, they had the very definition of what many people call success. But it wasn't for them. They just weren't happy. The fiance, the hobbies, the online friends, the in-life friends, all the friends, they might be what other people need, but they weren't what this person needed. They were missing some fulfillment that comes with honest, genuine, close friendships. That person used to be me in some sense. When I was living in California, my hobby was karaoke. I had a person I was dating, and I had plenty of people that knew me. They'd high-five me in the bars. They would have the drink ready for me when I got there. All kinds of cool things like that. But I still was lonely. I was unfulfilled. I was missing something in my life. And it was that honest, genuine friendship. Later, I would discover that I didn't have an honest friendship because I myself was not an honest person. I could not be honest about my own feelings. I could not be honest about my own triumphs, my problems. I could not be open. I could not share that with another person. And because I couldn't share myself with another person, people did not know me enough to want to support me in a way that I needed. I didn't know I needed. I've come from not having a emergency contact to having people who call to check on me. I don't have to wait for an emergency when something terrible has happened for someone to reach out to me. I didn't even have a person to do that for me. But now it's changed. And it's been a world of difference for me. Because these honest friendships are fulfilling for two reasons. One, they help us love ourselves. Above all, you, me, everybody, we want understanding. We want to be able to express our needs, wants, pains, pleasures, and everything in between. And we want someone to really hear us and demonstrate that they understand how we feel. That's what we're looking for. And if we're honest about that for ourselves, we can be honest about that with someone else. And that gives them the opportunity to show us, to demonstrate to us that they understand us. That is love. They help us love ourselves. Because finding someone like that will help you feel less alone in your journey. They'll provide you the kind of encouragement and support it takes to get you where you want to go. They help us love ourselves. Number two, they help us see how we impact the world. You see, we also want to feel like we have power over our lives. We don't want to feel powerless. We don't want to feel like victims of our own circumstances. We want to feel this power in our lives because it's incredibly esteeming to make a change to anything in our world in the way we imagined it. It is is steaming, really, to cook an egg, to boil an egg. If you do it the way you wanted to do it, if you make it the way you intended, yes, you've got this. It feels good. And everything we do, we're creating art, we're cutting the grass, taking out the trash, making dinner, whatever it is, if we do it in the way that we intend to do it and it comes out just like we imagine, we feel powerful. We feel amazing. When you have an honest friend who understands the time and effort it took for you to learn the skill, to execute the task, to create that beautiful, unique expression of yourself, when you're accompanied by someone who knows your journey, who has been with you through the ups and the downs, who has been able to be honest with you about what you can do to improve, how you can get to your destination faster because they care about you, it is really something. Because they know what it's taken. So the joy that comes from connecting with them, with sharing your experiences with them, will elevate you. We need a person just like that. We need a person that helps us fight our fears, because it's not easy to get from point A to point B where you've changed the world in the way that you wanted to change. It takes an honest person to help you get back on track. We need a person like that in our life. A person who understands us, supports us, helps us fight our fears, and celebrates our successes. Who is that person in your life? Do you have one? If you don't, then you might want to try what I did. Examine how honest you've been with the people around you, as well as how honest you've been with yourself. Because I discovered being honest and speaking your truth is the only way to develop lasting friendships. I'll be right back with the Answer Reddit friendship advice question. This week's Answer Reddit friendship advice question is called Stuck Between. I recently got back together with my ex. I decided to tell one of my best friends about this, and she was very disapproving. She told me that she won't support my relationship and told me repeatedly that she is not the only one of my friends who does not trust my ex. She also proceeded to cite an incident in which something happened and an event with my ex that triggered her, but she has still not disclosed to me what happened. I've reached out to my other friends to try and understand how they feel, and all of them did not realize this other friend felt that way. Most of them believe I can find somebody better, not that they actively dislike my ex, like my friend tried to make me think. I want to preface that my ex and I had remained friends even after we broke up. It was an amicable breakup that I initiated. My partner has recognized that there's a lot of things he can do to improve in this relationship, and he's already been doing a lot of that stuff. No relationship is perfect, but we honestly never had a bad relationship. I initiated the breakup over very far in the future concerns over life goals. He's never abused me, but the way my friend talked down to me about my decision made it seem like she thinks he's the type of person to do that. I've always loved him. I'm not really sure what to do about this friend. I feel like I'm in a situation where I can't have them both together. My partner had no idea that this friend did not like him. I'm wondering if this friend is only focusing on the negative things for which I have sought advice from her, and not all the good things he and I had together. I don't tell every single good thing he does because that always seems like bragging, right? She and I tried to discuss the situation again, and she really didn't apologize for how she talked down to me. I guess the advice I'm asking is, I don't want to lose this friend, but it feels like she's being very selfish, ? I don't think it's my duty at this point to be the bigger person. It feels like she's being very manipulative and trying to make it seem like all my other friends feel the same way as her. She is somebody who is very sensitive and often takes things to offense that many others do not. But I feel Like it's manipulative for her to withhold whatever it is she mentioned my partner did once. I tried to ask her again to disclose it, but she withheld it again and even started crying and yelled at me when I brought it up. If she tells me, and I think it's a minor issue, then I will look like a bad person for not taking her concerns seriously. But again, she is constantly offended by very small things. Does anybody have any input as an outsider looking in? Ooh, me. I have something to say. You're one of the first asking directly for an outsider looking in opinion. And I have got you. I've got words for you. I've got thoughts. I've got ideas. So you ready? Ready? Okay, let's go. I picked this one because this episode is kind of about, your friends who are looking out for you. And I feel like your friend here is looking out for you. I'm just going to share some general observations that I have, my thoughts about the observations, and then I'll give you some advice of what you might want to try in the future. So what I understand is that your friend is looking out for you. Your friend is trying to be very upfront and supportive. And based on what you've said, it sounds like you used to talk to her about advice. You used to frequently say bad things or negative things about your partner, your boyfriend, and ask her for some advice and some opinions. So it painted this picture of him that is pretty lopsided, right? It's essentially lopsided. And you say that she's also pretty sensitive. So you're flooding this sensitive person, quote, air quote, sensitive, but you're flooding a sensitive person with information that's upsetting to you and upsetting to her. She's taking it to a different level and expecting her to be okay with the newly revived relationship that you have with your ex. Now you yourself have gone to her and said, hey, my ex is trash in some way, shape, or form. And she's like, yes, he's a dumpster fire. And that's what she heard. And there wasn't much of great redeeming qualities about him. And I think that it is really important to note that I want to give you a sense of their mindset about that person. They sense danger for you, and they're sending off the smoke signals. They're saying, hey, danger, danger, danger. All right, that's one thing to note about the friend. Another thing to note about it is the manipulative personality that you say that she has. That this is that you're observing in her because she's trying to get this idea that the rest of your friends really dislike your boyfriend, your ex, really dislike it, and that doesn't seem to be the case. Right? They're exaggerating to get their point across. And that seems to be in line with their character and their behavior because they exaggerate things. They exaggerate emotional responses to things often. So they're doing that. They're trying to get you to understand how they might feel about the relationship. So again, they probably believe that the relationship is a really bad idea. I don't want to say probably. I definitely think that they believe that the relationship is a bad idea and it's really hurtful to you, and she wants you to get away from it as soon as possible, and she's using all kinds of tactics to help you, not to hurt you. I'm trying to put you in her mindset, understanding that as an outsider looking in, this is a friend who really wants to help you. Based on all the information you gave her about this man, he's not good for you, and she needs to do what it takes to get you in a safe place. So she's pulling out the stops. This is what I understand. The manipulation and all that stuff is something that comes along with it. Now, do you want a friend who is willing to manipulate you in such a way to give you what you need? That is up to you. That is a feeling that you are going to have to sit with to understand. But it seems like you had an expectation of her to share with you, had an expectation for her to apologize to you when she's trying to save you. That's her mindset. Keep in mind that mindset. She's trying to save you. The expectation of you to apologize to her, she doesn't quite understand why. And I think that closing the gap and making her understand why is important. What is it about her behavior that you don't want to tolerate? Now, I think that it's a great thing that you have a friend who wants to help you, who wants to support you, who wants you to be your best. And I want you to be, what's the word? I want you to be honest with yourself and really take a look at your relationship with your ex-boyfriend and how it might be creating some problems, some turmoil in your friendship. Because if your friend has the mindset of, I'm going to save you, I'm going to do what I can to help you, I'm a good friend, and that means going against whatever you want because I feel like you're messing up, they're willing to vocalize that to you and give you some insight into why. I think that is a quality that is pretty redeeming. Manipulation that goes with it is probably not so much. But what behaviors are you bringing to that dynamic? Because it seems like you were screaming, you were giving her the signal that I'm in danger, I choose danger, I'm in danger. That's what it seems like. And I know you've always loved them. You said your relationship isn't abusive, but it leaves some things to be desired. If you constantly express what things need to be desired or is left to be desired and expect her to be like, yay, I'm on board with whatever you want, that's not fair. That's not going to happen. She's fighting tooth and nail to pull you away. And from what I can see as an outsider, it's warranted. It's danger, danger, danger. That's in line with her personality. What can you do to maybe tone that down or fix it or change it? Perhaps not talk about your ex-boyfriend and about all the qualities that you dislike about him to her. Because she's not going to support your relationship. And she doesn't care now. She knows she's already got this bad picture of him. He's not a great guy. She doesn't want to hear any more about your drama between him. So she doesn't care about the good things, the redeeming qualities that you have or that you have for him or that he has, because they're really not that great. It's already overshadowed with all the bad things that he's done. And if she's already sensitive about some of the bad things he's done around her, he can never redeem himself. And she's never going to support him. She's always going to think that you need to be safe, safe, safe. So in this relationship, talking about the boyfriend, I'd recommend that you get rid of him. I'd recommend that you get rid of him. You didn't ask me that. I'm just being an outsider saying all kinds of stuff to you. But it doesn't seem like he's serving you. And you're settling for him because you have long-term needs that you can see that he's not going to meet. So instead of finding someone who's going to meet those long-term needs, you're staying with this guy. You didn't even have an opportunity, as I see it. You're being friends. You didn't have an opportunity to separate from each other and to realize that there are other people out there who can meet your needs. Emotionally, you're kind of connected together with this man, and without opportunity to see if there's something else out there, without the subconscious or unconscious idea that he can be waiting for you. He can be the backup. Release him, let him go. Let him go. Just like that. Let him go, and then focus on the relationship and the connection that you have with your friend. So imagine a world in which you didn't have this boyfriend and you're connecting to your friend. Is there something that she leaves to be desired aside from this manipulation part? Is there something that you don't like about her? What are the really redeeming, amazing qualities about her? Is she a good listener? Does she always show up for you? I would do a pros and cons and look at her without considering your boyfriend, without considering him in the relationship and the instance that is right now. Because this one seems to be very unique and powerful. But there's a reason why you and your friend have been friends for as long as you have been. There's a reason why you felt comfortable enough to confide in her and ask her for advice. There's a reason why that happened, and I'd like you to focus more on that rather than focusing on the current dynamic with the friendship, because that is going to help you make a better decision about whether you want to stay connected with her. You may want to even apologize to her. I know. Oof, girl, what? Yes, I said that too. You may even want to consider how she might feel about the situation, because you have dumped a bunch of garbage about your ex-boyfriend onto her, and expected her to be okay with it. You hear me? Do you know what I mean? A good friend would be like, no, not to my friend. Let's go fight this guy. Let's go cut his tires and smash the window out of his car. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what people do, but they would stick up for you and they would want what's best for you. They're looking out for your best. That's what we all want in a friendship. So go back and see if that is a trend that has happened in your friendship, rather than focusing on this one. All right? Thanks for writing, Redditor. I hope that helps. I know you didn't ask me to answer, but you asked an outsider, and I could not help myself. I hope that this helps you, and you can get some insight and information from this. Best of luck to you. Take care. My name is Coach Lee Hopkins, and you have been listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. You can find me at patternsofpossibility.com and on all social media at Patterns of Possibility. And as always, I want to encourage you to be yourself, live your truth, and there you'll make lasting friendships.